Hi everyone, welcome to Gig Harbor, Washington, where the anchor all began. We are standing here in front of a net shed, and for those of you who don't know what a net shed is, our town is an old fishing community, and back in the day, the fishermen would come off the water and bring their boats in and bring their nets into these net sheds to be repaired and get equipped and just get a little rest off the water. So we thought, what a great analogy for the anchor where it first began is this place where women of all ages can come to gather and be together and be restored and be encouraged. So this month we are going to share an anchor moment with you. And an anchor moment is a time in your life when your faith has really been grounded and you've seen God at work for real. And we are thrilled that we are going to be able to share with you stories from women of all kinds of backgrounds and all ages, and our hope and prayer is that you would be encouraged.
My name is Joanna, and I'd like to share my testimony on how I became a Christian. I was born in Taipei, Taiwan. Taiwan is an island country off the coast of China, and its main religion is Buddhism. Looking for better opportunities and environment for their children, my parents immigrated from Taiwan to Toronto, Canada, with my sister and I when I was 7 years old. Today I'm a Christian, although my parents are still non-believers. So my story begins here, with my cultural and family background. How did I come to be a follower of Jesus? So for as long as I can remember, even when I was a little girl, I've always had questions about the meaning of life. It might sound like a cliche, but I've always wondered, what are we doing here? What is the point of life? And what happens when we die? In the Bible, in the book of Ecclesiastes, it says that God set eternity in human hearts, and I think that was evident in my heart even at a young age when I was looking for answers. Looking back, I realized that God had allowed circumstances and events to happen in my life that pointed to Him. For example, when my parents first moved to Canada, they didn't know very many people, so in order to meet some new friends, they joined a Mandarin-speaking local church, even though they were agnostic. It was an opportunity for our family to socialize and to attend the potluck lunch after Sunday services. I was really young at the time, and I don't recall much from that church, but I do remember it was around that time that I started to pray. That was the first tangible sign to me that there was a God out there. As I got older, the idea of God stayed with me, even though I didn't know much about Him. I also started to have a lot of questions about faith, about whether there is only one true faith, about why a good God allows for pain and suffering, and why God would even put us here in the first place. Along the way, I met some good Christian friends and continued to read books about Christianity and the Bible, but I always felt like I wasn't completely convinced. And even though I did all the things that my parents and society expected me to do, I graduated from college, I got a good job, I married a great husband, but I still felt vaguely unfulfilled and lacking a sense of purpose. What am I doing with my life? Am I supposed to just graduate, make some money, get married, have kids, and then simply die? What is the point of doing all that in the end? No one will remember or care what we've done after a few hundred years, so it just seemed meaningless. So I continued to struggle, and another thing I struggled with was reading the Bible. I always felt if I was really going to commit to God and Christianity, I should at some point finish reading the main book from my faith. I really tried, and getting through the Bible was on my New Year's resolutions list year after year, but it just was not happening. And it also felt like a chore, something that I had to do, but I didn't really want to do. I could never really see how it related to me and my life, and I would just give up after a few months of trying to get through it. The turning point for my faith happened about 3 years ago, when I moved to a new neighborhood and started attending a local church there. I joined a women's Bible study at this church mainly to socialize. But as I started to read the Bible with these women and heard their insights about the Bible passages we were reading, I really felt the truth and the wisdom of the Bible and the life of Jesus Christ start to reveal itself to me. I would describe some of these women as Bible marathon readers and so much further along in their faith journey. Gradually, with their encouragement, I started to spend more and more time in the Word, and the Holy Spirit started to speak truth into my life about myself and about God's nature. I would sometimes spend hours reading before falling asleep with the Bible on my chest. After a few months, I had finally read the entire Bible from cover to cover. With the help of the Holy Spirit, I was finally able to complete that New Year's resolution that I could never complete on my own of reading the whole Bible. But more importantly, through the time and the process of reading this book, God had slowly started to change my heart and my spirit deeply. Looking back, I realized that for a long time, I was a comfortable, you could call a Sunday morning Christian. I wanted God in my life, but not too much. I didn't want to step out of my comfort zone or do anything too crazy. I remember hearing stories about Christians just picking up and go to Africa or China on missions, and I was always really impressed, but I would secretly tell God, please don't send me there. And when I prayed, it was mostly asking for things I wanted, sort of treating God like a vending machine, but not praying for what God's will was for my life. Little by little, as I grew to trust God and know His character, He has revealed to me the answers to all the questions I've had my whole life about why we're put here on earth. He showed me I was asking the wrong person for the purpose of my life. The truth was that in order to know the purpose for my life, I needed to look to Him, my Creator, and not within myself. So now, instead of being fearful where He might send me, I look with expectation and excitement to see where He wants to use me and where I might participate in His works and miracles. I pray that my testimony will encourage you to know that God is working everywhere. God is bigger and better than we can imagine, and He's bringing people of all nations, of all different cultures, colors, and languages to Him. Thank you for listening to my story.